Hi everybody, welcome back. In today's Luxe Chit Chat video, I want to share with you a few of the luxury shopping mistakes, or actually shopping mistakes in general, that I have made during my income earning years. I mean, I have not always been good with the way I spend my money. I am definitely not good at it right now. I am getting better. I'm getting a bit more matured, a bit more mindful. But I think I've made a lot of mistakes which I want to share with you, and I don't know if any of you have done any of these. This could be very specific to me, but I feel that if you have not done any of these mistakes, it would be helpful for you to look out for it so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kat. I hope that you will join my channel. I love everything to do with luxury, and yeah, I normally do a lot of luxury reviews and luxury hauls. I have a few reviews that I want to do, but this year there's going to be less hauls because I want to have a bit more mindful shopping. And yeah, if you haven't checked out my video, I will link my no shopping video down below. You can check it out. For everyone else, let's get to this chit chat. So the first shopping mistake that I know is the most dangerous financial shopping mistake that I have done is to use my credit card to buy luxury. So in my earlier income earning days, I wasn't obviously earning a lot of money, but I got into this habit of putting expenses, especially purchases, on my credit card and waiting until the end of the month to pay it off. It got to this point whereby I could not pay the end of the month. So I would do it, let's say for example, I would buy, let's say my LV bag on my credit card at the beginning of the month. And without actually thinking about it, like, oh yeah, I've got that money. But during the month, maybe I'll be having dinners and, I might have bought, I don't know, a pair of shoes, and everything would end up at the end of the month like, oh no, I've overextended myself. So I will have to pay off maybe 2 or 3 months. So I've learned the hard way that putting luxury items on the credit card is so financially dangerous and expensive and stressful and just not worth that pain, that fear that you can't pay at the end of the month. And then I would have to pay like maybe half of the credit card, and then the following month I'll pay the rest, or maybe it took me 3 months, and then in that 2 other months, everything will just keep adding on. What I do now, because I still use my credit card to buy my let's say my Chanel bag, it doesn't make sense for me to bring, let's say, I don't know, $10,000 in cash and bring it to Chanel. I mean, I've seen people do it, but for me, I think it's dangerous. So I still use my credit card because I want to get my points, I want to get rebates, but I'm very, very particular about it right now. It's that I would pay my item at the store, like using my credit card, but when I reach home, I will immediately transfer the money into the credit card. I basically use the credit card as a, I don't know, like a medium instead of cash, but I paid instantly. So I go home and I pay it off. Like I directly transfer the cash into my card rather than bring the cash to the card to the shop, because I don't want to be robbed or lose my money or things like that. It's just an additional stress that I don't want to deal with. But I don't wait until the end of the month. I pay it off within 24 hours. Like when I get home, I'll just transfer the money in. So I have learned that I don't want to wait until my statement comes. I don't want to see that big chunk of amount that I've spent. I still don't pay off, like for example, if I had a dinner and I paid $200, and I don't do that. It's a bit crazy to do it every day. But for my big expenses, where if I buy a watch, my bag or wallet, even if it's a day of shopping, let's say I went out a full day of shopping in Orchard and I spent, let's say, $1,000, I would go home and pay it off. So when it comes to my purchases on my credit card, now I pay it off in cash via transfer. I don't wait until the end of the month. I think that I have the money, I would pay off. I'm no longer using the credit card the credit card's credit as a rolling fund, because that brings you into such a dangerous loop of thinking you've got the money, but actually you don't. So that was my mistake in the earlier days. My longest period of I couldn't pay off my entire credit card in total for like 6 or 7 months, because I felt like, why am I still rolling the cash? I wasn't earning a lot, but I had this amount that I was keep I was kept rolling because I was still using the same credit card for, you know, my daily expenses, my car, my insurance, and then I had my purchases on it. It kept on and on and on until one day I just said, oh my gosh, what am I doing? So yeah, I had like to tie my stomach and not spend anything for a few months to get me out of that loop. It took me easily, I can't recall exactly, but maybe a year, right, in my early days, for me to realize that this is not the way to do it, and it was really painful. So yeah, don't use your credit card, and if you do, pay it off immediately. Don't wait until the end of the month. Before you know it, you will have racked up an enormous bill. The second mistake that I have made, and I think I still make this mistake, is I go shopping when I'm feeling emotional. So I'm still learning on this this area. So even though I say it's a mistake, for me, I feel right now it is still a learning curve. So when I say emotional, it doesn't mean when I'm just sad. It could be various kind of feelings. So sad, angry, stress, even bored. Even boredom is an emotion that I am trying to learn how to overcome when I want to go shopping. So just give an example. The other day, I was really stressed. So that was like a week ago. I was so stressed at work, and it was a full week of just, you know, on con calls and just dealing with people that I was really stressed because I was doing something that I could not understand. So you know when you do a piece of work and you're dealing with people who know it better than you and you're just struggling to understand it, but you are trying to piece the things together. So that was where I was, and I was so stressed for a few days. And in the end, I just said, you know what? I told my colleagues, I said, hang it, I am going shopping. So, but I knew, because I'm on this regulated shopping, I knew in my heart that I was just trying to vent off just some steam. I just wanted to go and walk around. So that was an emotion. So if I didn't have this regulated year, I would have gone out and buy stuff, you know what I mean? But I still went out that day. I still went out, I walked around, I did my little wish list kind of thing. I looked at Sephora, I just burned off some steam, just walked around, take a look at some clothes, and just almost walked aimlessly. And you know, if I was in a state of mind, just, you know, hang it, shop, you know, just buy something to make myself feel better, I would have bought something, because that is a mistake that I make and continue to make in my shopping, you know, in my shopping journey. Because yeah, your mind just shuts down, right? Your mind just turns off. You want a feel-good factor. So it is a mistake, and I'm not saying that I have, you know, cleared that hump. I am still learning it, but I want to share with you because, you know, anytime you guys feel emotional, angry, sad, bored, even happy, actually, even happy, because yeah, that's also an emotion that sometimes we just say, hey, I want to treat myself, and you just buy junk. You just buy things that are totally unnecessary, and you just want that additional feel-good factor. Buying when I am emotional, it is something that I continue to work on, and I know it's a mistake. I know I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't buy when I'm stressed. Definitely, oh, that's the worst, because you just buy junk. Sad as well, even happy, you know, sometimes after I do a good job, or in some, let's say for example, this particular thing was happening and I managed to resolve it, I was, hey, I'm just going to treat myself, and I will go out and buy something. So nowadays, I try not to do that. It becomes a really bad habit. So I, you know, do other things. I don't know, watch TV or something. I just try to do other things, go to the gym maybe. Yeah, so that is the second shopping mistake. Third shopping mistake, and I've done this countless times, so many that I don't even want to talk about. But it's like, if you plan, like for me, I plan an entire shopping day. I'm all ready to buy a work dress or a pair of shoes, and I'm just all excited about it. But when I do go out and spend hours and hours outside and I find nothing, I end up buying things unnecessarily so that I don't go home empty-handed. So I will buy anything. I'll go to Daiso, I'll buy something, and I will buy a book or buy a shoe, or slippers, or something that was not originally planned, because I feel like, I spent this entire day, I took leave, or I planned it for days and days and days, and I don't have anything, and I just get so frustrated, so I just buy something. So this is a terrible, terrible shopping mistake, and I've done this countless times. In the past year, less, because I don't know, maybe I haven't found even junk that I want to buy, but I have done it, okay? Maybe not last year, maybe the year before. I'm sure sometime I have done. I have worked on this problem, so I'm getting much better at it. Sometimes I would buy fruits. So right now, because maybe I'm just so sick of stuff, I don't buy it anymore. But when I was younger, I used to do this terribly. Like, spend an entire Saturday just shopping, maybe looking for working clothes, and then I don't buy anything. It's just maybe it doesn't fit, or I don't know, it's just things don't look nice, and I would just buy something. It could be anything. I'm telling you, it could be hair ties, it could be a hairband, it could be a pair of earrings. It's just something so that I would feel like, oh, at least the day is not wasted. Such a terrible, terrible mindset. Luckily, now I don't do it anymore. If I have that urge, like I want to buy something, I would buy something to eat. So I would buy maybe a piece of bread, have an ice cream, or I don't know, maybe buy fruits, so something a little bit more useful, but no more junk. But there is one place that I still have difficulty of leaving, feeling, I don't be empty-handed, and that is in Bangkok. So every time I go Bangkok, because Bangkok has amazing shopping, cheap shopping sometimes as well. So for example, in the Chatuchak, or those Platinum Mall or something, it is so difficult to walk away feeling like I don't need to buy anything, because you are there in the moment, and it's like, 200 baht, 300 baht, 100 baht, 400 baht, and you're like, surrounded, and then you feel like, oh, how come this doesn't, this shirt doesn't suit me, that underwear doesn't suit me, maybe I'll buy this, I'll buy a hairband. And then every time I come back from a shopping holiday, from places like Bangkok, where else? Maybe Vietnam? Did I do anything in Vietnam? Yeah, Bangkok, even Japan. I bring back so much junk. So when I'm on a holiday shopping trip, it's more difficult, okay, for me to undo this mistake. But here, where I am in Singapore and all, it's much easier, and I have not been doing it lately. But yeah, when I'm in Bangkok, all hell breaks loose. Fourth shopping mistake that I have made, and I used to blame it on the essays, but actually I blame it entirely on myself, is that I don't give myself enough time to think about an item. So I'll walk into a shop. It doesn't even have to be like LV, Chanel and all that. It could just even be a boutique selling work clothes. I get pressured into the salesperson, or I feel a little bit guilty for spending too much time in there, and I walk out with something that maybe if I gave enough time, or I walked away, I would not have bought it. So I do blame this entirely on my personality. I blame it the fact that I'm not strong enough to walk away. So that was my younger days, okay? But now, I don't care, okay? So now, if I feel guilty, like I start to feel it in my heart, like I feel like, how do you say, like kind of like your instinct, you're looking at something, and if the essay starts to push me a little bit, or the staff, or the client advisor or whatever, they start to push you a little bit, and I get this little, just a hint, just that little hint of like being feeling a little bit unsure, or just that little bit. I grab onto that feeling and I storm out of it, because I know my gut is telling me, give yourself a little bit more time. When I was younger, I used to ignore, that nudging feeling in my heart, like it kind of says, no, maybe not. But I kind of like, and what happens is I hang around the store a little bit too long, and I get persuaded by the salesperson, or I start to feel guilty, or taking too much of their time. And it's also a personality problem, because I don't want to be rude, I don't want to be unkind, so I end up buying some piece of shit. So now, when I get that feeling, I would grab it. I may not walk out straight away, but I'll just say, no, I need more time. No, I will be that straightforward. I would push back, So it took me a while to identify this problem that I had. I'm not to say 100% cured from it. There are times, for example, when I go for like my manicure, not a manicure, like my hairdresser, okay, my hair, she'll tell me, oh, you know, maybe you should get a scalp treatment or some treatment, and I'm like, okay, yeah, fine. That was totally unnecessary, right? But I do get suckered in once in a blue moon. I'm not denying it. I do get suckered in. But when it comes to luxury shopping now, I am super strict. The fifth shopping mistake that I have made is that I buy something after being inspired by somebody else, but it absolutely does not suit my personality. So the easiest example and the closest example that recently happened is buying colored handbags. Every time I see an Instagrammer or YouTuber pull out an amazing looking colored handbag, I'm sitting there going like, I need a colored handbag. And I just always justify it to myself to say, you know, I don't have a colored handbag, I need a pop of color, I need something that, will jazz up my collection because my collection is so boring, black and neutral and all. And I always fall into this trap that I never reassess my personality. Do I really want to carry a colored bag? Do I feel comfortable carrying that red, orange or yellow or whatever colored bag there is out there? Maybe in that moment I would have felt it, but I should have reassessed my own personality, because my personality is I don't like to stand out. So I don't like to walk down the street and people look at me. I mean, if they're looking at my nice bum, then go right ahead because I worked hard on it. But I don't like people to look at my handbags. I know it's really strange, right? I don't like to be stared at. I don't like to be noticed of, say, carrying a bright orange Birkin or something like that. I don't like it. When it comes to superficial things like that, things that are of a certain price, I don't want to be noticed. I don't want to be I don't want to be shown. I don't want to be seen as a person who's flashy and all that. So yeah, why the heck would I want a colored bag, right? It is like, so I made multiple mistakes. I bought my Lindy 26 in a color rouge tomato. It's like bright red like that. My Capucine Kelly is another problem. I had my old LV Montaigne bag, which is like this beautiful magenta color. It's a beautiful dahlia color, but I don't carry it. I never use it, or I use it a few times and I feel uncomfortable. Like my personality is saying, hey, careful, it's like black I can just hide. I just feel it. It's just, maybe it's a psychological thing. I can hide a black bag. Black blends, gray blends, just blends into me. But when it's red, people's eyes just immediately look at that bright thing that you're holding, and I don't like it. So that's a personality problem for me, and I should have known better. I should know that I should buy things that suit my personality. And it's really hard to say today I'll know my personality. This is something that I learned over the years. It took me a while. It took me through multiple rounds of making this mistake, and I have finally come to the conclusion that I will never, ever get another colored bag again. It's just not for me. So those are the 5 shopping mistakes that I've made, and I can tell you I am still working on a few of them. I am getting better each and every day. So I hope that this video will inspire you to maybe reassess your shopping habits, any of your shopping concerns or issues that you have with it, and trying to figure out what suits you, what works out for you. And if you guys want to admit any of your shopping mistakes that you have done, go right ahead in the comment section down below. Maybe this is like our confession session and just take this time to share what you've done wrong, or you feel like you should have done better at, and don't repeat it, right? Don't repeat it. Learn from the mistake and move on. I'm moving on from learning things like buying when I'm emotional. Sometimes I'm still working on it. I definitely don't buy when I'm angry now. I used to buy when I'm angry, but now when I'm angry, I just go home and just work on my YouTube videos. I don't use my energy to go shopping anymore, but I used to. Okay, I used to. So I hope I'm creating a platform for all of us to work on things, especially it's still the start of the year. We want this, you know, momentum to keep going. That's why I'm pushing out so many of these shopping chit chat related videos rather than doing hauls and I don't know, stuff that I think for this year may not be so healthy. Okay, so that's, I'm just gonna say that, so healthy. So I'm gonna keep going with it. I don't know how many topics I can come up with, but I'll make sure that I keep sharing these things that I've done, and hopefully it can help you as well. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments down below as well. Otherwise, you guys take care, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.